Okay, class, today we're going to use another organizer, and we're going to talk about factoring again, but this time we're going to factor in when we do have an A value. So when we have an A value that's not 1, the first thing we need to do is we need to always make sure that there's not anything you can factor out first, like the greatest common factor. So you'll need to make sure you look at 3 terms and make sure they don't have a common number that you can factor out first. Again, we're going to use this organizer when the degree is 2, we have a quadratic equation. The number of terms is 3, we have a trinomial, and the coefficient of the squared term is 1. Okay, this organizer is very similar to the one that we used when we factored polynomials when A was 1, but we have a few different tricks we're going to do with this one, a few different things we need to do to manipulate so that we can get it in a factorable form. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this A term here and we're going to slide it down here, and we're going to multiply A times C, and we're going to put that here. So our first step is we're going to slide. Okay, so this is our little slide thing here, and we're going to basically just multiply A times C. Okay, and then we'll rewrite this as x squared plus bx plus a times c, and we're going to put b here. Remember, this is our multiplication, this is where we multiply, and this is where we're going to add. Alright, so let's work an example as we go through this. Okay, so our first step is to slide this 7 down to the 4 and multiply it. So 7 times 4 is 28, so I'm going to wind up with x squared plus 29x plus 28. And then we're going to use our x puzzle like we did in the original problem when A was 1. We're going to put A times C here, and then adds to B here, and then we're going to solve this puzzle. So right away I see that my factors of 28 that multiply to give me 28 but add to be 29 is just 1 times 28. So I'm going to put a 1 here and a 28 here, and I'm going to write my factors as x plus 1 times x plus 28. Okay, my second step is to divide and reduce fractions. So since I multiplied this 7 through to get my factors, now I'm going to have to divide that 7 out. So I'm going to take this and divide this by 7 and this by 7 and reduce my fractions. Well, this one cannot reduce, so I'm just going to leave it as x plus 1 over 7 times x plus, and then 28 divided by 7 is 4. Okay, so now that I reduced my fractions, my next step is what we call bottoms up. Okay, and what that means is I'm going to take anything that's left in the bottom and I'm going to move it up. So I'm going to take this 7 and I'm going to move it up here. So this becomes 7x plus 1 times x plus 4. I'm going to write my little bottoms up here, kind of remember what we did, and now I have a factored form. So like we did when we factored when A was 1, we try multiplying out. 7x times x gives me 7x squared. 7x times 4 is plus 28x. 1x plus x, 1 times 4 is plus 4. 7x squared plus 29x plus 4. It matches my original problem, so I know I factored correctly. Okay, class, I'm going to work one more example with you using the steps from this organizer. So my first step is that I want to slide this and multiply this. So this becomes x squared plus 7x minus 2 times minus 30. So this would be a times c. I'll put that into my negative 30, put my positive 7 here, and then I'm going to look for factors of negative 30 that add to give me 7. So I have 1 times 30, 2 times 15, and 3 times 10. And there's other factors, but I'm going to stop here because I know I can get a 7 out of here, a positive 7. So if I make this a negative 3 times positive 10, they multiply to give me negative 30, but add to be positive 7. So I know my factors are going to be x minus 3 x plus 10. Okay, so the next step was to divide. So since I multiplied the 2, I need to divide it back out. Okay, I cannot reduce this fraction, so that's going to stay as x minus 3 halves, 3 over 2. And this simplifies to x plus 5. And the next step I'm going to do is bottoms up. I'm going to move this up here. So this becomes 2x minus 3 times x plus 5. And we always want to check our work, so we're going to FOIL back out. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2 times 5 is plus 10x. Negative 3 times x is minus 3x. And then negative 3 times positive 5 is minus 15. Simplify 2x squared plus 7x minus 15. Matches my original problem, so I know I factored correctly. Okay, make sure you take good notes. Complete the completion ticket after the video. Bring any questions you have to class tomorrow, and have a good night. See ya.